Hey, Mike from Fulcrum here. Just having a little drive around. I got thinking about retirement plans, and all that. I know I had plans, but sometimes they don't quite work out the way they think they will. And as the old saying goes, man makes plans and the gods laugh. Very true. That's why most of these old sayings have a lot of backing to them. There's a few things I learned about retirement, things that give you pause. So I got about 7 of them. First one is friends from work. Found that after retirement, unless you had established a relationship off work with these people, once you retired or left, you're out of the loop. You're no longer part of the daily repertoire of these people. You're not involved with the water cooler talk anymore. All that really held you together, you had a common place of employment. You all hated your boss. Or maybe, the successes and losses you made while working there. But that was really the only connection. Once you walk out the door, and in many cases, soon after you do, other people do as well. Now it's just a foreign country to you. You don't really have any contact with these people. You may bump into them every now and again, but it's just strictly polite. Hi, how are you? How's the kids? And that's about it. So going forward, don't depend on people you knew from work to be people to hang around with when you retire, especially if they're still working, because their schedule is not near as open as yours is. If they can fit you in at all, it'll gradually taper out to nothing. Well, number 2, every evening's Friday and every morning Saturday. Now, that could be a great thing, but the problem is, if you do things the way you did while you're employed, where every Friday involved going out, partying up a little bit, shooting pool, drinking beer, staying up late, Saturdays involved doing pretty much the same kind of thing somewhere else. You keep those up as a daily activity instead of a twice a week thing, it's going to kill you. Not only that, you're older, you can't handle that stuff anymore. Your liver's not up to it, your body's not up to it, and you need to give that a rest. So you need to find things to do that are a little more friendly, healthy. Number 3, you need a reason to get up in the morning. Because if you don't have a reason to get up in the morning, as I found this out, 6 months in, you find yourself sitting on the couch, still in your pajamas at 2 p.m., binge watching Netflix or YouTube, and eating pizza you bought on Monday and it's now Friday afternoon. Not a good plan. You need stuff to do. You need a reason to get up and rolling. So I would suggest early on is set up a regular routine for your mornings and your afternoons. Build things into your day that get you in and out of the house, like shopping, doing laundry, meeting up with people for different events. Schedule things that involve other people, so you're more or less forced once in a while to be dug out of your cave and get out and mix with people. Number 4, people think you're available 24/7 because you're retired. Now, this could be a good thing if you enjoy company. And if it's known that you have tools, you're handy, and have a half ton, well, you're going to be a very popular person. And you're going to have to learn to say no once in a while. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the door. Pretend you're asleep. Schedule doing things with other people when you feel comfortable doing them, so you don't feel put upon and getting resentful that you're being used for what you have in your services rather than your good nature. Number 5, money will evaporate quicker than you think, especially if you have a habit of eating out. That $25 burger and fries that you had for lunch could translate into steak and eggs for breakfast every morning for a week. What I found I do to stretch the budget for entertainment is I go shopping on a regular basis for specials. Now, these specials are often a loss leader, meaning the store in question is selling things pretty much at their cost to draw you in. Their hope is that if you're going to buy the hamburger that's on sale, you're probably going to buy the buns and the pickles and the tomatoes and the cheese as well. So go in and buy that stuff in the economy flats and pop it in the freezer section of your fridge. I found that generally about once a month I go out and do this, and I get the staples that I regularly eat based on my food schedule. I'll pick up pork chops, chicken, steak, eggs, roasts if they're on sale, and maybe even a ham. Divvy things up into 1 or 2 portion sizes and freeze them. Works great for me. Number 6, you find yourself becoming an insomniac. I ran into that one as well. You'll find that when you have nothing to keep you occupied in the evening, that there's a tendency to stay up late. A lot of times, too, because you're not used to having an open schedule, you won't be as active as you should have been. You might even be having naps from 2 till 4 in the afternoon. And this really screws up your sleep schedule. You should try and stick to as a regular sleep schedule as you can. It's very unhealthy to get out of that. You should be in bed by 11 and up by 7. That's a general rule of thumb. I have morning things to get me up and going. For example, I do exercises every day. Nothing major. Some push-ups, some barbell curls. I do my qigong and some other things. But once or twice a week, I hop on the bike, go for a ride down the local trail, walk the dog. Do these every morning. This gets me up and about, take my coffee with me, and makes for a great start to the day. If you haven't planned anything, when you do get back, figure out what you want to do for the rest of the day and schedule it accordingly. Otherwise, you will find that your nights become days and your days become nights, and find yourself unable to sleep when you should be sleeping. Number 7, you have way too much stuff. I know in my case, at a 3-bedroom home, 2-story, full basement, over 30 years of memorabilia, basically junk, stashed in the basement. All of it kept because someday you might use it again. Maybe the kids might want it. Turns out kids didn't want it, family didn't want it, I didn't want it. And the stuff been taking up space in my mind and the basement all these years. Ended up all going to Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army. A lot of it ended up putting out in the curb and people hauled away. I was never so happy to be rid of that stuff because it's just a constant ball and chain around you. You've got all this stuff nobody wants, and it's just taking up space. Get rid of it, you'll be happier, and allow you the freedom to do what you want to do. Another thing I found about that is my closet. I had way more clothes than I needed. I had stuff in there that I hadn't worn in 10 years. Stuff even older than that was so out of style it was embarrassing to even think that I used to wear it. So clear that out as well. So that'll give me an excuse to actually go out and buy things, new shoes, new wardrobe, whatever. Get rid of that ugly lamp you've had since you were a teenager that you brought with you from your first bachelor apartment to your home. Get rid of anything that is just a burden on your life. It's a great freedom in getting rid of all that stuff. And you don't feel very guilty about it once it's gone, because once it's gone, it's gone. Anyway, as always, breathe deep, think clearly, enjoy each day. And remember, get off your ass and do something.